Gentlemen, I'd like to introduce a return guest, Tony Fero. How you doing?
Good.
Yeah.
I'm doing great.
Good. I like to. I had this like plan for like a big long introduction as to like who you are and how amazing your work is, but I think I'll just say that I consider your comics work to be like the love child of Ken Landgraf and Jack Kirby. I think is probably a pretty decent explanation.
Okay, I'll take it.
I hope so.
Yeah,
because it's a compliment for me.
Yeah.
So we're wanting to kind of get into your work and get into what you have going on latest. Before we were on the channel, we talked a lot about ULF Maverick, but I am a fan of yours. So 21st Century Big Spider and ULF Maverick, and in the latest issues, you've definitely started like pulling together this like wide Rubber Wolf universe. So let's get into a little bit about what Rubber Wolf is, your kind of universal take on your characters and Rubber Wolf up to now.
Yeah. Okay. So it started with 21st Century Big Spider, which is I consider that sort of my flagship title, or it's my baby. Like I love that comic. And I'm always kind of I've mentioned this before. It's always kind of weird and frustrating to me that most people that I talk to seem to prefer my other stuff, and I get it to an extent because it's a weird comic. But yeah, 21st Century Big Spider to me is just where I can just go wild and do whatever I want without any I can put those characters into any sort of genre or setting or whatever, and it's always fun for me.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's kind of the thinking behind this whole crossover thing that I'm doing, is where it's basically just an excuse to put everybody into the same universe so I can just have fun with all the characters at the same time,
Awesome.
And yeah.
Well, you had a character featured in ULF Maverick called Randy Tucker Bomb Dude that ended up getting his own book as well, and I forgot to pull that out, but I actually have it like right over there.
Yeah, it was not featured in it was like a backup story.
Yeah, backup story.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
So you've got like 3 different elements that you're trying to pull together. So what is this? Just give like the basic rundown and pitch of 21st Century Big Spider and ULF Maverick and Randy Tucker.
Okay.
Like, what are each of those titles about?
21st Century Big Spider is more than anything, it's it came out of my love of Sam and Max Freelance Police, which is one of my favorite comics of all time. And it was kind of like my version of that, where it's just a comic where you just have a couple of characters. In this case, it's 4 characters, 5 if you include the Big Spider. And it's basically just a vehicle for them to like bounce silly dialogue off of each other. So it's basically, it's these 4 characters who have all been brought together by this character that's this Big Spider, who's kind of like he serves as like sort of the Charlie of Charlie's Angels sort of character, where he like sends them on missions and stuff like that. And it's just, and they're just, it's sort of a spoof of superhero comics in a way, but it's really just me being silly,
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's kind of all over the place, but in this like fun, good way, because it's kind of like your mind space. It's kooky, it's crazy.
Yeah, so, and that's one of the reasons I'm not too upset that it's not as popular as I would like it to be, because it's hard to, it can be hard to take in, because it's a lot of it's the humor. The humor is like I'm my audience, you know. So it's like if the humor doesn't hit, it's like whatever. You don't have the same sense of humor as I do, you know. Yeah. So then we have the so Ulf Maverick and Randy Tucker both sort of started in the same place, and they're sort of connected in a way because I look at them. So originally, the original Randy Tucker Ulf Maverick book that I put out was a flip book. So it was Ulf Maverick on one side, and then you flipped it over, and it's Randy Tucker story. And I kind of view them as they're both my sort of love letter to the 80s, to 80s comics. And they kind of represent two different halves of that. Like the Ulf Maverick is very, very much inspired by dark, grim, gritty kind of, you know, the violent vigilante comics of the 80s. And it's my version of that. It's a little bit tongue in cheek, but it's definitely like a sincere love letter to those comics, but it's got a little bit of humor to it as well.
Yeah.
And Randy Tucker is just kind of the flip side of that. It's more fun and colorful, and you know, it's more like a kind of more fun, frivolous kind of adventure thing. You know, not a lot of serious darkness to it or anything like that.
Yeah, I kind of saw like Ulf Maverick, if I was to relate it to more pop culture elements, it's more like the 80s style of like dirty action movie, like Death Wish, stuff like that kind of tone. But Randy Tucker is like arcade. It's like Randy Tucker is like a it's like those side-scrolling games, you know, where you're just fighting monster guys and stuff, and there's not a lot of not a lot of story to it. It's really just about a guy who's like this, you know, a badass who just beats up monster guys. You know, that's about as deep as it is. It's awesome too. Yeah. Absolutely, I love it all, and I can see how like Ulf Maverick and Randy Tucker and didn't maybe necessarily like completely fit in with 21st Century Big Spider, because 21st Century Big Spider definitely kind of felt like it's definitely its own thing. It's the first thing you did before those, and like you said, you had a very specific purpose and tone for Ulf Maverick and Randy Tucker, but I love that you decided to just go ahead and merge these into a single universe. And the last issue of 21st Big Century Big Spider, we were definitely starting to get a huge element of these characters coming together into a single purpose. And it looks like that we can start sharing and taking a look at like what you have now. Ulf Maverick and Randy Tucker special coming out soon.
Yeah, so this will be the next thing I'm releasing, and it should be. I don't have a definite timeline on it, but I mean, kind of depends on the printing route that I go and how long that takes. But I'm pretty much done with it. I've got a couple of more pages to finish up, but it's essentially done. And so what this is going to be is it's going to be it's going to collect all of the Ulf Maverick and Randy Tucker stuff that has been published so far, which is all out of print. So it's two issues of Ulf Maverick, and then the two Randy Tucker stories, which are both kind of short stories. And then it ends with a new story, which this is the cover of the new story, which is where Randy Tucker and Ulf Maverick meet. And it's a continuation of the story that left off in 21st Century Big Spider number 5, where it's everybody's sort of meeting in the 80s for a specific purpose, and they're all teaming up. And so this is a continuation of that story where Ulf Maverick is brought into the mix, and he meets Randy Tucker, and they fight some monster guys.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and then that'll lead into 21st Century Big Spider number 6, which will be the culmination of everybody getting together.
Nice.
Yeah,
I love the Marvel homage that you have going to the 2-in-1.
Yeah, that was a Marvel 2-in-1 homage. I swiped that from one of the 2-in-1 covers. And I want to mention also that this will be this book is going to be digest size.
Okay.
So I don't know if you're familiar with the digest size, comics.
Yeah, like the old. I mean, they're not like gigantic, but
no, it's
almost like manga sized, right?
Right,
but even smaller.
I was inspired by here. I have this is one of the Italian digests.
Oh yeah, nice.
So I've been collecting these like crazy lately. And I'm like just obsessed with this format. Like it's a really nice readable format. It's like it's not like too small and not, it's like I don't know, it's just I feel like it's a perfect size for comics.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm going with that. And I'm also working on another digest project, which is more directly influenced by that stuff, if you want to get into that too. But
yeah, actually I have the image of that up here in a second, but I appreciate that. I like this effort in the indie comics community lately for people to be going different sizes of books. There's like really huge ones and whatever, but I'm also finding like the really big formats are just really hard to lug around, and they're not easy to read. Those old digest size, I love that size because it reminds me also of the old pulp paperbacks, and there's just they're the perfect thing to be able to just like stick in your backpack and go to the coffee shop.
The popularity of manga has definitely proven that it is a format that people like. So
yeah, for sure.
That's part of it as well. But I was less inspired by manga and more by the Italian digest. But it tends to, or it just happens to coincide with the size of manga as well. But
for sure, this is some of the original artwork of ULF Maverick #1. So let's go ahead and I assume this is what you're talking about.
Yeah. So this is it's Terror Blue that's the name of the so let me show you the inspiration to this. So I've been, like I said, I've got these Italian digest comics. They're all mostly like very lurid, like horror and sex comics, and I've been really into collecting them lately. And I happened to get this book here, which is it's about this company Elva France, which was the French publisher that repressed or reprinted a lot of these comics in French.
Okay.
And so this book is just like a collection of like the original covers of all of these books. It's amazing. But the thing that struck me is in the back of this book, the second half of this book really is they had different artists do their own like reimaginings of the covers. Like this is one. So, and there's like tons of them, and some of them are really, really wild and cool. Let me see if I can find a really good one. Let's see. Like some of them are just crazy. Like this is, it's just they're just sort of remixing the covers.
That's really cool.
Right. So that was my inspiration. I was like, at first I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do this, like just redo one of these covers. Right. And then I thought, what if I take that further and just redo an entire comic, So I took a particular issue of this title, Terror Blue, and I happened to find this one issue that's just, the story is insane, and it's just so off the wall and just over the top. And I just felt it would like work perfectly with my style. So I decided I'm just going to take this whole story and just do my own version of it.
Nice.
So that's what I'm working on now. And that's, it's a big project. These things tend to be about 120 pages or so, 110 pages. But the thing is, they're like, if you look at them, it's like they tend to have like 2 panels per page, so it's like,
oh, okay.
Not a full, it's like you're doing a page, but it's like only 2 panels. So 110 pages is actually probably more like, I don't know, 50 pages or something, I don't know, however that works out.
Bro, that's
only doing 2 panels per page.
That helps in terms of getting a page count underneath you for sure.
Right. So yeah. So I've been working on that. I've got, a decent amount of it under my belt so far, but I'm hoping to get that done by Heroes Con.
That's awesome. So Terror Blue, is that like, who is the original writer and artist for that?
It was I don't have the issue that I'm homaging in front of me right now, so I can't tell you. But are
you taking a lot of liberties with the story at all, or?
I'm taking very little liberties with the story, but I'm taking a lot of liberties with the art.
Okay.
Like basically what I did is I just basically read it through numerous times, and to the point where I kind of have the whole story pretty well established in my head, and now I'm just redoing it, like regurgitating it in my own style,
Can you drop a little bit of what the plot centers on?
I don't want to give away too much, because it has a lot of like sharp turns where it goes places where you're not expecting it to. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to spoil any of that.
Yeah.
So
I figured that's the way those old digests are designed.
Yeah.
I mean, many of the stories kind of, from that era were. What year was this?
It was 1978, I think.
70s, yeah.
Yeah.
I figured it was the 70s.
Yeah, and it starts out as like it's like you think it's kind of like a softcore porn kind of comic, where there's a lot of sex going on, mm-hmm. and then things take a weird turn, and then I can't really get into it any more than that, but.
Sure,
there's a little bit you can see from the cover. There's a little bit of where it goes, but
yeah,
that doesn't even begin to scratch the surface of how weird it actually gets.
That's awesome. It looks fucking amazing, man. It looks sweet. When can we expect this, and when can we expect the ULF Maverick and Randy Tucker collection?
The Terror Blue thing I'm really hoping. I'm doing my damnedest to get it done by to have it ready for Heroes Con. So June. The Randy Tucker thing, I'm hoping will be out by probably sometime in March.
Right on.
Yeah. Just it really kind of depends on how long it takes to print it.
Sweet.
I haven't decided which printer I'm going through yet, so.
But this will be made available through Power Pulp Comics, the Power Pulp Comics Collective. Can you take a minute or two to kind of talk about the collective and like what your decision was for choosing them as your primary like distribution channel and imprint?
Yeah, I don't know how much I can say that hasn't been said already. They've been out there talking about the whole thing, quite a bit. But if for anybody who's not familiar, I mean, it's a collective of independent cartoonists who are trying to publish their own things independently without publishers. And when you're doing that, it's hard to get distribution. So basically we've set up a situation where we're pooling all of our resources to put all of our independent books under one banner which is not a publisher. We're all independent, but it's all, you can get the comics from the same place. So if you're like a shop and you want to get a bunch of independent comics, you can get them all from one place, instead of having to go to each individual, cartoonist and get them. So you're going to save a lot on shipping and everything, save yourself a lot of headaches.
So it's less that you all are, you're all still your own basic publisher, right? Like you're still Rubber Wolf.
Yeah.
That's who you are. That's like your self-publishing imprint, but Power Pulp is basically the distribution collective that everybody's tied into. So that makes it, like you said, makes it easier for like an LCS, because that's the hardest thing about being an indie, I think, is stores and local comic shops. Like they want to support, but it's hard to like have to keep track of every individual, indie, person to like order their book. So it's a collective kind of help with that.
Yep. So I just, so we all just, like me, for instance, I draw all my comics. I go through all the stuff of, the hassle of getting it printed and everything. And once I get the books physically in my hands, I send them to the Power Pulp central distribution, and they, when anyone orders them, they send them out and everything. So
awesome.
So that's all it is it's just distribution, but
you
it's
have
also,
to have like, good.
It's also the other part of it is we're all kind of promoting each other's projects as well. So it's so it's not just the benefit of distribution. It's also, having, all these other people, sharing each other's projects, and, so it's just a big, I don't know, a big love fest, man. A bunch of people who love each other's art, just, pushing.
Well, that kind of makes, that's part of like coming into the collective, right? Is that everybody has to contribute in some way, shape, or form, whether it's helping promote, or I know the Coates brothers act as like the distribution center itself, the distribution warehouse, and
they by far have like they do the most work of anybody. And I can't say enough good things about them. Like, the fact that they're willing to take on that work is amazing.
And they're cool creators too.
They're awesome. They're amazing.
Their work is great.
Incredible.
Do you have to have a certain number of books? So if you join the collective, whenever you get this collection done, like what's the minimal amount of books that you need to have in order to contribute to the warehouse? Does it matter, or
just one? I think, like there's a lot of people in the Power Pulp group who only have one book. But
cool.
Yeah, so we do have, there's kind of an overall vibe that we're going for, that we're trying to kind of maintain. Like we don't want to get to this place where we just have so many different types of things that you don't know what you're getting into,
Yeah.
It's like there has to be a sort of an overall connective sort of vibe that, among all our books, so that you kind of know, like, if you like one Power Pulp book, you're probably going to like most of the other ones, So
even though they're all different, they all have like their own unique flavor, but I get what you mean.
They're totally different, but there's something that kind of brings them all together,
Nope, I get it. Yeah, I definitely feel that, and it makes for the Power Pulp catalog being very enjoyable.
Yeah, and it's growing all the time, man. Just getting bigger all the time.
So all of this is going to culminate up into 21st Century Big Spider number 6. This large story, is that where it's all going to end, or is it going to continue from there? Like, what are your Rebel Wolf plans beyond that? Are you even there yet, or is it that you're just kind of focused on what you've got now?
I think my my basic idea at this point is that after 21st Century Big Spider number 6, that's going to be, so that's going to end this whole crossover thing. And I'm thinking it's probably going to be a bigger issue, like a double size issue. I haven't really even gotten there yet. So that's going to a little bit down the road. But I think after that, I'm thinking about just sort of doing a sort of one-man anthology deal where I'm just going to have every I'm not going to be putting out, ULF Maverick books and 21st Century Big Spider books. I'm just going to be putting out like one title, kind of like 8 Ball or something, or Love and Rockets, but it's like I can put any of those characters' stories in there.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's kind of the direction I'm thinking about going in. So I'll have you'll get an issue and it'll have a 21st Century Big Spider story, or Randy Tucker story, an ULF Maverick story, or anything else new that I come up with.
It definitely makes it easier, man.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's the direction I'm going to go in.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'll be looking forward to it then. Well, where, if you don't mind, can you drop promos? Where can people find your work?
Well, like you mentioned, powerpulpcomics.com. And unfortunately, I think most of my stuff is kind of out of print. There's not a lot available at the moment, but like I said, this Randy Tucker ULF Maverick thing will be available soon, like within the next month or two. And that will be available at powerpulpcomics.com.
And people can find you on Instagram at
Big Tony 308. Big Tony 308. And that's Instagram and Facebook and all the other ones. But.
Cool. All right. Anything else you want to drop? If not, we'll go ahead and wrap up.
Yeah, I think I've covered it.
All right. I really appreciate you jumping on, man. Thanks a lot. It's good to see you. I'm looking forward to this next issue, and everybody stay safe out there and keep it psycho.
Right on.